I don't know how else to say this, but the Indianapolis Colts have officially placed star receiver Alec Pierce on the physically unable to perform list following his offseason ankle surgery. It is a tough blow for our offense, especially after we just committed big money to lock him in as our primary deep threat for the coming years. This situation has two distinct layers to examine: the medical reality of his recovery and the long-term impact on our passing attack. We need to stay focused as this unfolds. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts below. Let's dive in. The Indianapolis Colts have hit a bit of a snag as we approach training camp, with one of our most dynamic playmakers, wide receiver Alec Pierce, officially placed on the physically unable to perform list. After securing a massive 4-year $116 million contract during the legal tampering period back in March, Pierce was expected to anchor our passing attack this season. His performance last year was truly standout, as he hauled in 47 receptions for 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns, averaging an impressive 21.3 yards per grab. The decision to place him on the list was not entirely unexpected, as he has been recovering from off-season ankle surgery performed in late March. While he attempted to address the lingering pain from a 2024 injury with a platelet-rich plasma injection at the end of last season, the surgery ultimately became a necessity. Colts coach Shane Steichen told ESPN on Saturday that the goal is for Pierce to be ready for the Week 1 opener, noting that the team plans to ramp him up throughout the camp period. And the more I look at this, the frustration for us as fans is palpable, because we were all eager to see our $116 million man build on that momentum alongside quarterback Daniel Jones. Jones has confirmed he is ready to be a full participant following his own recovery from a 2025 Achilles tear. Yet questions remain about how this offense will function if our primary deep threat is not at full strength by September. Will this forced patience lead to a more conservative start for our offense? Or are we overlooking the potential impact of his teammates stepping into the void? The most surprising reality of this offseason is that our new $114 million investment, Alec Pierce, has been placed on the physically unable to perform list. We saw this coming, yet it still strikes a nerve for those of us who have followed this team for decades, especially considering the long road that brought us here. Pierce signed his 4-year, $116 million deal during the March legal tampering window, placing him 13th in league annual pay rankings per spot rack, following a stellar season of 1,003 yards and 6 scores. And I'll be straight with you, the history of such ankle issues can be quite temperamental for any professional athlete. Pierce admitted he initially attempted a platelet-rich plasma injection at the end of the 2025 season to avoid the knife. But lingering pain since 2024 eventually forced this late March surgery. The coaching staff is clearly prioritizing long-term health over immediate participation. As Shane Steichen explicitly stated, the goal remains to have him ready for Week 1. Behind closed doors, Chris Ballard and the front office likely view this as a calculated risk, knowing that rushing a high-priced asset back too early could prove disastrous. Having him fully integrated alongside Josh Downs and Ashton Dulin is critical, as he transitions into his role as the true number 1 target for our quarterback. We need a healthy Pierce to maximize the potential of this roster, and watching him navigate this 4 to 6 month rehab window will be the primary storyline as we approach our opening kickoff this September. So that covers the latest roster update, but let's take a moment to look at the broader picture. Let's be real, this situation with Alec Pierce is a genuine test of our organizational depth. When you invest a massive $116 million into a cornerstone wide receiver, you expect him to be the focal point of the offense from the moment training camp kicks off. Seeing him placed on the physically unable to perform list while he manages a lingering ankle issue is frustrating for those of us who have been waiting to see the full potential of our aerial attack. This move forces Shane Steichen to shift his early planning, relying more heavily on Josh Downs and Ashton Dulin to carry the load during these vital summer practices. With Daniel Jones returning from an Achilles tear, the chemistry between our quarterback and his primary deep threat is something that needs to be built on the field, not in a trainer room. As we look ahead, if Pierce is not fully ready for the intensity of Week 1, we could face significant challenges against our divisional rivals who are looking to exploit any early season hesitation in our passing game. Every single game counts when you are aiming for a deep playoff run, and losing a player who averaged 21.3 yards per grab last season changes the defensive math against us. We need to keep a close watch on his rehabilitation timeline. If he hits that recovery goal, we remain a dangerous contender. But for now, the pressure falls on the rest of the receiving corps to prove they can hold the fort while our star gets back to full health. Placing Alec Pierce on the physically unable to perform list is the smartest path toward ensuring our new primary wideout is at full strength for the entire season. By managing his recovery from that late March surgery with patience, the organization is protecting their massive investment in a player who recorded 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns last year while averaging 21.3 yards per grab. The upside of having a healthy version of the 13th highest paid receiver in the NFL, according to SpotRack, cannot be overstated as he enters his prime. And this is the part that gets me, because while Shane Steichen maintains the goal is a Week 1 return, the reality is that ankle issues can be notoriously fickle for deep threats, who rely on explosive speed. Should he suffer any setbacks, the burden of replacing his production falls squarely on Josh Downs and Ashton Dulin, a pivot that would certainly test the limits of our receiving depth. While experts across the league generally support the conservative approach to his rehab, some media analysts are already suggesting that the team should have been more aggressive in pursuing additional depth during the legal tampering period to mitigate this exact scenario. Personally, I think the hand-wringing over this move is quite overblown. The idea that we need to panic because a veteran is resting a known issue before camp starts is simply not how championship teams operate. Here's where I land on this. Our coaching staff has a clear vision for the offense, and they are rightfully prioritizing long-term durability over short-term participation for their top target. We need him on the field in September, not August. When we balance the promising updates on Daniel Jones with the temporary absence of Alec Pierce, the full picture for our franchise becomes one of calculated patience and long-term vision. This direction signifies that the organization is prioritizing complete health for our core leaders, ensuring they are prepared for the grueling reality of a full season rather than rushing through summer workouts. Fans should feel a sense of measured optimism because we are watching our front office protect a significant 4-year, $116 million investment in a top-tier deep threat. Now here's the thing, while seeing Pierce on the physically unable to perform list is never ideal, having his 21.3 yards per catch average ready for Week 1 is the goal that actually matters for our championship ambitions. The team is clearly betting that the chemistry between Jones and Pierce will carry us, especially with support from Josh Downs and Ashton Dulin providing depth on the field. We are witnessing a clear shift towards stability and performance-based planning under Shane Steichen, which should provide plenty of comfort to everyone who has followed this team through the years. If we can get both of our offensive pillars back to full strength, the ceiling for this passing attack is remarkably high. I want to hear from you on this strategy. Do you trust the coaching staff to have both Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce fully ready for the season opener? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. For the shoe, I'll see you in the next one.